Hey everybody, in this video we're going to be going over the listing tab, specifically for entering a new listing and also doing a status change to a listing, and also like editing some information you might already have for a listing as well. So just getting started here, going to the top menu bar and clicking listings, you have the enter listing tab. We're not going to go over copying a listing for right now, but I can make a video if I get enough people that want me to do a video based off of that. View and revise your listing is another thing we're going to be going over. The quick change, incomplete listings is where you go if you were filling out a listing prior, didn't get to complete it, you saved and exited the listing. This is how you get back to that. And the expiration report as well. So let's go to view and revise listing first. So we have a drop down for in this MLS. I have two active listings, or one that's active, one that's under contract. So I want to make a change to the active one right now. You simply select the checkbox, you click the little pencil tool to the right-hand side to actually edit it. But if you don't see that and for some reason you just don't know how to find it, and you do click on the listing itself, the listing ID number, you can always go to revise listing up here and it'll bring you to the same place. So if you want to edit some of the listing information, you can select listing information. And this is where you're going to be able to edit any of the things that you filled out, before you ended up submitting it, before it went live. This is where you would make changes to that, or whether you're changing the description, whether you didn't have all the information before and now you do, so you're updating the MLS sheet itself. This is where you change it. And as soon as you make any change, you definitely have to hit the submit button in order to have those changes be sent to the MLS to then reflect on the rest of the MLS sheets as well as the internet. Go ahead and cancel that. The next option is for status information. So if you need to change from active to attorney review, or attorney review back to active or to under contract, this is where you would do it. The drop-down menu gives you that option. You select it and make any changes to the showing date and expiration date if you need to as well. This is where you can also change the list price. And then if you do change it from active to AR or under contract, it will prompt you to enter the buyer's agent information. But that's pretty self-explanatory. Even if we did to attorney review, it's going to ask for the contract date. It's going to ask for the tentative closing date, the selling agent office. So if they're a non-member, you click non-member. If they are a member, you just simply put in their MLS ID in their office, or their office ID, and their office ID. If they have a co-agent, you'd fill that out as well. Pictures, so you can upload and manage pictures through this section as well. So let's say you completed the listing was submitted, and then you say like, okay, now I want to be able to upload the photos, or let's say you want to update the current photos that you have. This is where you would do that as well. It's under pictures, upload and manage pictures. Copy some of the pictures, and you can make a picture description report too. You can view listing details, you can view property history, reverse prospecting, all that good stuff. The super lockbox, showing time instructions, they're all on this page, ready for you to edit. Now we'll go ahead, after we just did a brief review of the view and revise your listings, we'll go to enter a new listing. Sometimes it gives us some problems, so bear with me. I know a lot of you get error messages sometimes at this point in the process, but I assure you I've been there as well, and it can be very frustrating. But if you have any questions, or if you have something that ends up popping up that's giving you issues, I would definitely reach out to the help tab and contact Rapatoni first. And you can also contact me, and I can try and help you walk it through it. Not saying that I do have the answers, but I could try and help you out if something does come up. So we'll just pick the county first. Tax ID, if you don't know the tax ID, if you don't have it, you have to press unknown, or else it's going to prompt you with an APN error message. So always check unknown unless you have the tax ID number ready to go. we'll just fill out a listing that I already have is listed as under contract. You can go ahead and fill out all this information. Anything that is highlighted in red with an asterisk next to it is required, so you definitely have to fill this out completely. And when you have everything, you have to press place pin on the map in order to get to the next step. And it looks like, okay, we have our map pinned. This address, this listing was successfully mapped. This listing has been mapped and can be found on the radius or the map search. It's very important. So if you don't do this step, I mean, it's probably not going to let you go forward anyway, but this is how the MLS and tools used to search are going to be able to find this listing. So when we're ready, we can go ahead and continue to listing input. If there's anything wrong with where this pin is, then you have to go back to modify address so that you can go through this process again. So we're not going to go through all of these, just going to go through the highlights. Again, anything that is highlighted in red with the asterisk next to the name, that is going to be required. If you do not fill this out prior to submitting this file, it will prompt you with an error message, and then you will have to make those adjustments and fill those in. At the top, you still have the menu bar. It stays the same, but underneath you have the submit button. So this is where you're able to save as incomplete and exit and cancel. So if you save, it will save all your progress. If you need to go back to it, if you get timed out, you can go to incomplete listings and it'll be there. If you go to save as incomplete and exit, it'll bring you back to the home page, and then you can always get back to the listing under incomplete listings. Again, I would very much advise you to, although it shouldn't time you out, to expect that every so often it might, and that to hit the save button every 5 minutes or every few minutes after you put in a large amount of information is going to save you a lot of headaches if this program does kick you out. So that being said, we don't expect it to kick us out, but it's always best to assume that it will, so that you don't end up having to put all this information again. Put active or active coming soon, listing period, all this information you guys should be fairly familiar with, but this is where it's going to prompt you. Anything with the little calendar icon next to it, as soon as you click it, it's going to need to be in calendar format. You can click the calendar icon to prompt the calendar to pop up for you to be able to interact with the calendar. When you select a date, it's going to appear there. So we won't go through all of these again. Property subtype, single family home, condo, townhome, all that good stuff. When you do go through this, if you try and submit it, I'll show you the error message that pops up. So it already popped up with, we have just too many things not selected. Unknown can only be selected if property subtype is co-op or mobile home. So again, it's just prompting us with other error message just because we don't have all the things filled out. But if it did, the general error message would pop up over here, and then anything that it needs you to prompt, like let's say you have 1 or 2 things that need to be filled out, you can always click on the item itself. It will be highlighted in blue, and it will bring you to the section that you actually need to fill out still. So all this information, you go through, fill in the prompts as you go. Once you do submit this file, it will become active. Then it'll give you the option to input the pictures. If it doesn't bring you to prompt to the pictures, which I know has been a problem with people in the past, you would just simply go to listings. You can revise your listings. And then when it does appear as active, that's when you can select it. As we did before, go to the little pencil to revise the listing, and then go to upload and manage pictures. Just 1 second. While it loads, it'll show you how to upload the photos if you do want to watch. I've already watched the tutorial, so I don't need to see it again, but this is where you would add pictures or delete pictures as you need. That's just a quick video of how to use the listing input. Let me know what problems you end up having with inputting the listings. If there's anything I can do to help, definitely let me know. You can contact me on Facebook, or you can just put it in the networking group of the problems that you're having, and we'll try and get through this together. So thanks so much, guys, for watching, and I will see you in the next video.